I want to talk about creative freedom as a camera operator. You don't have the credit of director of photography. You're doing very different things. Do you still feel like there's creative freedom for West Side Story as operators, but also just in general? Does the role of a camera operator lend itself to having creative freedom in maybe the way that people perceive directors of photography having? And Mitch, we'll start with you.
Yes, is the answer. A big resounding yes. No matter how specific, a director or a cinematographer might be, they'll give you, okay, Mitch, you start here. This is your start frame. And then this is your end frame. So even with that, which might be the most restrictive information you might get, between A and B, it's all you. It's all the camera operator. You're making decisions, 24 frames a second. You're having to make a choice of where to put the frame. And also, I would say that, especially with Steven, he'll explain what the shot he wants, and then he walks away. And it's up to us as camera operators to figure out how to execute those shots, what tools to use, what personnel to use. That's actually, can be the hardest part of the shot, is figuring out what's the most elegant way to execute this shot. But yes, there is a lot of, like I said, camera operating is an instinctive, intuitive process, and no one can tell you how to do that. And if you're thinking about what they're thinking, you're thinking, they're thinking at Video Village, let's say, you're going to be dead. You have to be completely alone and focused in the frame, and it's only you.
Do you feel the same, Buzz?
Yeah, even it's just a simple thing in a dialogue between two people. If you're operating a shot between two people, and the actor's doing this, and they're kind of doing this, and they're looking up, and they're coming back down like that. Well, you can let that go, all right? Because editorially, if someone's talking to you and the head's down like that, they're going to cut back to their head coming up. And if you're always correcting for this, it's going to become distracting. Right. So just let it go. I mean, if you're always, my headroom, I got to keep the headroom. But then if you're cutting back and forth, you're going to get seasick. So, as an operator, a lot of creativity comes from knowing the edit and knowing when the cut's going to happen, or at least having an idea what the cut's going to happen, and knowing you're not forcing a cut for the editor. You're not saying, if someone's leaving frame and you keep panning and panning, the editor's like, so you kind of get wrapped up in the story, and you are not being the editor, but at least you're allowing the editor to make the choice and not forcing the cut. So, thinking as simply as it's two people talking. That's just one example. And that's your choice, because you can do that and people might not even notice it, directors or whatever, but you're making that call emotionally, because you're making the audience work, because now the audience is looking up and down in the frame because they're following the eyes. So if you're tilting, it's not moving. Their eyes don't move. So you can think of it that way too.